Welcome back, P7. This is me, Miss Jones, and I'm going to go over with you your lessons for Friday. So, lesson 2, all of these activities, these are meant to be completed on Friday. So, the first thing we have is a bell ringer on Roots and Affixes list number 1. Just one thing to point out, it's going to say quiz. It's going to say start the quiz or resume quiz. I just wanted to be clear, this is not a quiz. This is just a bell ringer. Canvas calls them quizzes, but these are ungraded. This is just meant to be practice for you so that you can have practice learning and working with Roots and Affixes list number 1. So if we click that blue button, this is what it looks like. The directions right here say, use your knowledge of roots and affixes to match the appropriate word to each sentence. So for example, if I come over here, a shortened version of a word or phrase, if I click this drop down, I want to find a word that I feel like matches this definition, a shortened version of a word or phrase. The correct answer here is abbreviation. Like we saw in the last video, abbreviation uses the root word brev. Brev, we know from Roots and Affixes list number 1, means to shorten. So a shortened version of a word or phrase, the correct word that matches this definition is abbreviation. After you've answered all of these questions, you can go ahead and submit, and that is it for your bell ringer. After the bell ringer, we have some notes on plot. Plot, as you know, is a series of events that occur throughout a narrative. You guys learned this in 5th grade, you also learned this in 4th grade, and you probably covered it in 6th grade too, but I know it's been quite a while since you were in the 6th grade. So as a refresher, the plot diagram can be divided into 5 parts. We have the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution. As it says in these descriptions, the exposition, this is the beginning of your story. This is when we first meet our characters and our setting, and we get the general vibe about what this story is going to be about. Next, we have the rising action. This is where the events of the story begin to pick up. We start to have a little bit of mystery, a little bit of action, a little bit of drama, and we're slowly building up and up and up in tension and in intensity to this climax. The climax is the turning point of the story. This is when we're at the height of the action. This is usually when that big fist fight happens, or Batman versus Superman, the big fight happens, or the big reveal happens. Maybe we figure out that Darth Vader is, in fact, Luke's father. That is the climax. After the climax, we have what's called the falling action, and that's when the story is starting to wind down to a close. Usually those plot threads are starting to get tied up, and that brings us into the resolution, or the end of the story. Oftentimes, authors will tie everything up and they'll explain all of the loose ends. Sometimes we're left with a cliffhanger, and that all happens in the resolution, or the end of the story. So now that we've had a quick overview of plot, what I'd like to do next is, what I'd like for you guys to do next is to click into this where it says Pixar short, Partly Cloudy. I want you guys to take a moment to watch the Pixar short film, Partly Cloudy. It's right here. You can go ahead and click this link to open it. Watch it one time. Just enjoy it. Watch it for fun, especially if you've never seen it before. After you've watched it one time, what I'd like you to do is watch it a second time. And the second time that you watch this short film, I want you guys to be thinking about the plot diagram. Which parts of this short film are included in the exposition? Which events from the film are going to be included as part of the rising action? What's the turning point? When do we realize that, this is the height of the action, something crazy is going on? And after that, I want you to think about what events are part of the falling action, and finally, how does this story end? What events are included in the exposition? Sorry, in the resolution, rather. When you're done with that and you've watched this film 2 times, you're going to come into this last part of the module, Pixar short, Partly Cloudy plot diagram. This is a cloud assignment. I understand that there might be some technology issues with this cloud assignment. If you are having any issues at all, please don't fret. We will work it out next week when I return. What you guys are going to do is you're going to click on this button that says Load Pixar Short Partly Cloudy Plot Diagram in a new window.